Ryan Blaney looked like he had it all won at Miami-Homestead this past weekend. However, Tyler Reddick made an absolutely gutsy move, powering through the high side in turns 3 and 4 in the last lap to claim the victory and steal it from Blaney, who worked hard to get past Denny Hamlin on the way to the white flag. Blaney recently spoke about his decision-making process that led to giving Reddick the high side and admitting that obviously that was the wrong move, but we do get an idea onto why he chose to make that decision. I wrote this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. So let's just watch this race here real quick. If you haven't seen it already, what happened in the final laps of the race here.
Down the back straight. JGR versus Team Penske. Blaney versus Hamlin. And Blaney's got his nose in front.
All the way.
The champ wants a chance.
So there you go. Blaney is able to get around Denny Hamlin right there. He takes the white flag, goes through the middle here in turns 1 and 2. Reddick dives to the bottom of the track. Hamlin stays to the top. Reddick's able to pull the slide job on Hamlin, slips into second place right behind Blaney. Hamlin gets a huge run down the backstretch, and then Blaney decides to choose the middle. Reddick rockets through the top and just drives past Blaney like he's Ross Chastain at Martinsville riding the wall. And Blaney has to settle for a second while Reddick cruises to the win. And obviously, many people are saying, what in the world was Ryan Blaney thinking? Why did he not go to the top side? It's Tyler Reddick. Why are you not blocking him on the top end? This is a top end track. What are you doing? But obviously, we did see Blaney just slide job Denny Hamlin coming out of turn 4 to claim the lead. And then his spotter is probably telling him that Reddick did the slide job on Hamlin coming out of turn 2 to get into second place. So I don't think it's unheard of to think that, well, Reddick's going to go and try and do the slide job again. And that's kind of what Ryan Blaney was thinking. But before we get to that, I do want to point out what he said here at the immediately following the race. He said it was kind of hard to protect there into 3. And I thought I've kind of entered fast enough to protect against the slider and against the top move. And Tyler just blitzed it on in there and got to my right side. And I was like, OMG, I didn't think he was able to do that. And he made it work. Some things I would have changed up. But yeah, I look forward to Martinsville. It's been a pretty good place for us. It stings to end it today like it did. I'm going to be sad about it tonight, but tomorrow morning we'll be fully focused on Martinsville and ready to go. Looking forward to that place. So you get a little bit of an idea on what he was thinking here. He was trying to obviously protect against the slider, but he was trying to protect against the top move as well. It looks like he kind of maybe got stuck on what he was trying to do, and he kind of tried to split the difference there because I don't think you can protect both, but it looks like he was trying to do that, and it ended up kind of costing him because he did not protect that top side and block Tyler Reddick there. So that's what he said immediately following the race. He then has done an interview here with Bob Pockrass that he performed earlier this week. I think it was maybe just yesterday. And he said this: when I got home Sunday night, I rewatched the whole race and rewatched the end of it. I lost some sleep over the end of that race. I mean, it's so easy to go back and watch it from the broadcast or relive it in your head of like, well, gosh, if I just would have done this different, it would have been a different outcome. But that's easy to do, like in the moment. It's really hard to make the right decision. You're making decisions every lap. You're making a lot of decisions every lap. And I look back on that and I talk about in some scenarios, whether it's speedways or any of these races, things, whether you're leading or second or whatever, you're guessing in some situations on what lane is going to be better, where the car in front of you is going to go, where the car behind you is going to go. You're guessing. And sometimes you guess right. Sometimes you guess wrong. Now, obviously, you have the spotter kind of telling you too, and you also have the cameras and all of that stuff. So it's not just like they're just completely guessing, like flipping a coin or whatever. These are informed guesses because they can indeed see kind of where the other drivers are going, what they have been doing, etc. He then admitted, really in that scenario, I guessed wrong on where he was going to go. And yeah, I wish I would have done something different. The whole last lap, I didn't get through 1 and 2 very good. That started there. And then I didn't get to the right lane in 3 and 4. I just guessed wrong on what he was going to do. And he did a great job of kind of going where I wasn't and carrying just a ton of entry speed to get there. And it stuck for him. So similar comments to what he said immediately following the race. He also informed NASCAR.com. And he kind of says this here, comparing what he does to some NFL players. I can only speak on pro sports because I'm a part of one, and I watch a lot of others. And it's like when I watch a football game, I'm like, why didn't he just do that? In the moment, when you're that person and you're that athlete or living in that time, it's so much harder than being on the outside and watching on TV with all different angles and things like that. You're making real-time decisions in the moment. You don't have any time to like process, think about it, go through all the options. It's boom, boom, boom. It's all happening super fast. And I agree. I agree. It is happening really fast, but I do think that his spotter was probably informing him of what Reddick did in turns 1 and 2 to get around Denny Hamlin, and probably maybe thinking that that's what he's going to do again. I think that is, I don't think that that's unheard of, right? He has a spotter telling him this. He can also see it kind of in the mirror, right? What's happening. You're never going to be batting 100 for making the right decision, the right call. And that's what the difficulty of sporting is you can make the right decisions. Can you make the right decisions? And how often do you make the right decisions? He then explained his decision-making process. He says, in my mind, going down the back, I'm seeing the run that he's got down the back and the timing of it. I'm like, okay, I think he might pull a slider here. That's what I kind of made up my mind up on, is that he was going to pull a slider and I was just going to kind of enter where I did and slide up the track. If he did pull a slider, maybe I can pull under him, or where I kind of entered, I was like, well, I'm going to cut a little distance off the racetrack here to where maybe I can still be on his outside if he did pull a slider and I can drive back around him. It was just the wrong move. So that is kind of his thinking there, his decision-making process. I actually respect that. He obviously clearly was trying to block the slider. I think that makes sense in the context of what was happening in the race. Seeing Tyler Reddick absolutely pull the slider on Denny Hamlin in 1 and 2. Why would he not do that again in 3 and 4 on Ryan Blaney, given the fact that he was right there on Blaney's bumper? So I don't think that he made the wrong move. He obviously did make the wrong move, but in his mind, in that moment, I don't think he made the wrong move, given what he had seen, what knowledge he had, what his spotter was probably telling him about Tyler Reddick's move on Denny Hamlin in 1 and 2. And all credit to Tyler Reddick for outmaneuvering Ryan Blaney and his team, his spotter, etc., and going to that outside and blowing past Blaney there and not doing what he did in turns 1 and 2. So I think got to give Tyler Reddick a lot of credit here because he did indeed outmaneuver Ryan Blaney. And I think that's also something that Blaney doesn't mention here, is that even when you're watching football or another sport, well, you have to remember you're not just reacting to whatever's happening with the ball in the air or whatever. There's other players too that are also making those decisions, and you have to react to them. And in this case, Tyler Reddick was the one who made the decision to go to that outside, and it worked for him. What happens if he does do the slide job and Ryan Blaney's move does indeed actually work? He's able to block that run from Tyler Reddick, and his guess is 100% correct, right? So a lot of it has to do with the decision that Tyler Reddick made as well, not just the decision that Ryan Blaney made. So those are just kind of my thoughts on this. Definitely appreciate Ryan Blaney kind of explaining what his decision-making process is. And I do think that kind of helps us understand what is going on in those cars as they're driving nearly 200 miles an hour. But let me know what you guys make of this. You can listen to Blaney's comments here in the link in the description below on stockcarreport.com if you want to listen to it yourself. But again, let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.